I think that's enough. Can be a little bit too much of a good thing. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black and Night Show. Glad you could be here tonight. I got my people out there on Periscope. Got my family out there on the other YouTube channel, my backup YouTube channel. Good looking out, YouTube. Also, I'd like to welcome my people from Twitch, Twitcherville. What's up, Twitch? And Periscope. I said Periscope. That's Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Yeah, that's everybody. That's everybody. Give it up for yourselves. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, guys. So today is if you're like me, you're probably a little bit tired of seeing James Comey already. What is James Comey trying to do? I didn't know who James Comey was for like the first, 43 years of my life. I don't need to know anything about him at this point. Nah, I don't know why we make celebrities out of everybody. What does James Comey do that's celebrity worthy? You know, nothing. He does nothing. You know, he's tall and he can't play ball. What good are you, man? You take up space. But because he serves a purpose, which is pretty much how politics works, if you serve a purpose, then all of a sudden, for a minute, you are the favorite flavor. So James Comey, former FBI director, is the flavor of the month. And he's been making the publicity rounds. Yes, he has. So let's do with this. So he put out the book. He put out his memoir about Donald Trump. And for somebody who says he's tired of Donald Trump and Donald Trump has a fetish for him, well, Donald Trump hasn't written a book about you yet, sir. Well, you did write a book about the guy, so yeah. Well, there's a couple of things that came out of Comey's book that I'd like to highlight. He says this, Comey on why it's possible Trump was compromised by Russians. He's constantly bringing it up. So let's dig into this a little bit further. The former FBI director added, now, those aren't definitive, those aren't conclusive facts, but the reason I say it's possible is there are things that lead my common sense to believe it's possible. Tapper pressed Comey, asking, do you have evidence that President Trump is compromised by the Russians? Have you seen evidence of it? And Comey responded by saying, no. And I think I've said that throughout. I'm trying to be transparent. Here's my reasoning. Here's why an honest answer has to be, it's possible. Comey first made the explosive, it's possible remarks on ABC's George Stephanopoulos in an interview on Sunday evening. When Stephanopoulos asked Comey if he thinks the Russians have something on Donald Trump, the former FBI director responded, I think it's possible. He think it's possible, y'all. Yeah, Comey's book, the higher loyalty. That's the name of it. Listen, guys. Hey, Comey is the snake oil salesman. That's why him and Trump don't get along so much. No, let me be serious for a second. Comey, he doesn't really have anything to say. He wrote a book to make some money. He wrote a book to be a part of the conversation. He had a position that kept him out of the limelight, and he got a little limelight, and it got good to him. That's it. He got a little limelight. It got good to him. And he figured, hey, might as well go ahead and get some money. I want more besides my FBI pension and his stupid watch. He wants something. So what else did he have to say? James Comey, who says that Trump has a fetish for him once again. He said this. He said, Trump repeatedly praised me. President Trump lavished praise upon the FBI Director James Comey in January 2017, according to memos Comey wrote that were provided to Congress on Thursday. Comey wrote in one of the memos that Trump, then the president-elect, said he was repeatedly put in impossible positions and conducted himself honestly, and that he had a great reputation. Comey also wrote that Trump asked him if he hoped I planned to stay on. I assured him I intended to stay. He said, good. In another memo, Comey documents a conversation with Trump in which the president said, I need loyalty. So, that's, I don't know, man. You know, there's so much about what's going on with Trump, what's going on with this investigation, that I feel is so motivated by sales. It's so motivated by the marketplace. It's so motivated by publicity, clicks, views, subscriber counts. That's it, man. That's what it's all about. It's like our media is run by a bunch of Instagram models. That's what we got, man. Our media, look. Our media is run by Instagram models, and our politics, it's run by teenagers doing various challenges to become relevant. Yeah, that's what's happening. Right now, James Comey's doing the equivalent of the Tide Pod taste. And it's ridiculous, man. All right. Last but not least on James Comey. James Comey says he's no longer a Republican. Yeah, no longer a Republican, says he's out of the party, says he's done. He said as soon as the Republican National Committee launched a website called Lying Comey, he was done with it. That's all it took. Them to put out a website totally defaming you, stripping you of all this reputation and you know, Comey, to his point, he says that he feels that the Republican Party has left him and many others. Comey said on the ABC podcast, Start Here, it's the name of the podcast, I need no better evidence than the new website, which I think is lying Comey, maybe attacking me. I just think that they've lost their way, and I cannot be associated with it. He also went on to say how he felt the party had compromised itself, fell lock, stock, follow sycophants behind Donald Trump, which I don't think they follow Donald Trump to that extent. But that's his opinion, and he was a Republican, and he also feels the party's lost its way. Now, hey. Look, I left the Democratic Party for similar reasons. I felt that it had no compass, that its ethics were in the toilet. The party, not every individual person, but to me, I could not further associate myself with that party. So I exited, right? I jumped on the first thing smoking and got up out of there. You know, and so I understand that. But Comey has not made a decision if he's going to be joining the Democratic Party, though they have been in his cheering section lately. I wonder why. All right. You guys ready to move on? Facebook people, you guys ready to move on? My Facebook people, man, they have their posts on their finger on the pulse of what's going on. So, I got a couple other things here. Check this out. Bernie Sanders just signed on the legislation that was sponsored by Cory Booker that would federally decriminalize, I should say, marijuana. Federally legalize. Yeah, legalize it. On a federal level. right? So this is like, wow. I was like, hey, all right. Don't mind if we do. Don't mind if we do. Now, Bernie Sanders is just the latest senator to sign on to this legislation that I didn't know existed, and it's sponsored by none other than Cory Booker. And I'm like, what? Cory Booker did this? This either means that Cory Booker has had a change of heart, that Cory Booker is running in 2020, or Cory Booker know damn well ain't no way this legislation gonna get passed. So he figured, hey, I might as well get the good press while I can, and maybe if Bernie don't run in 2020, he'll have my back and endorse me. There you go, Tim, calling out BS like you always do. Hey, look, man. Ladies, gentlemen, my people, Tim Black's Wolfpack, I'm one of those people that believe you can't beat up on people when they do what you want them to do. If you beat up on people when they do the right thing, there's no incentive for them to do the right thing. So you got to give people like, okay, all right, dog, I appreciate that. I appreciate what you did, Cory. You got to be like Cardi B, like, I appreciate you, Cory. Like the Tiffany Haddish, like, I appreciate you. I'm glad you did this, you know, but I got my eye on you, Cory, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching you, Cory, and I know I don't feel like I can trust you yet, Cory. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, all right? But yeah, by all means, sign on to this thing. Now, Bernie Sanders, he says the reason why he thinks it's important for us to legalize marijuana, one of the reasons is that he feels that this can help stem the tide on the opiate crisis. Now, whether you know or not, the opiate epidemic is a big deal, okay? More people have been killed by opiates in 2017 than car accidents. I think it was 60,000 people died of opiate deaths in 2016. I can't in good conscience just be like, well, remember how you treated my people, you know, over crack back in the 90s? Remember that? Well, just keep dying then. Just keep dying. That's right. Keep dying. I'm not going to help because, you know, you did my people wrong. Well, first of all, that's a flawed argument for a couple of reasons, right? Well, first, a couple of things. Let me be a little bit more nuanced than that, if you don't mind. Let me say this. First of all, if I said that, I'd be right. I wouldn't be morally right, but I'd be right. You could be right about something but not be morally right. You know? If somebody ran up right now and stole my mic, you know, and I beat him to death, I would be right. But I wouldn't be morally right. Because I could have just knocked him unconscious and hit him with that water bottle. You know? What I'm trying to tell you is, yes, you're right. The crack epidemic was treated totally racist, bias, and it wasn't just white people doing it. Black people was like, go ahead, Clinton. Go ahead and lock them all up. You can kill them for all I care. That's good policy. We had black people doing that too. I'm scared of the drugs. These people, I don't know, these are zombies. Night of the Living Baseheads, Chuck D. Night of the Living Baseheads. But just because that was wrong doesn't mean I sit back and go, well, let's let another 60,000 people die next year and let me just chill. No, here's the deal. This is what I suggest we do. I'm telling you. Forget suggested. I'm telling you. We support this legislation that has no chance in hell, but we support it. Look, when we had a chance to get legalized weed, Obama didn't do it. When he had that window of having a filibuster-proof Congress and Senate and the executive pen, he did not legalize weed, all right? So, yeah, keep that in mind, okay? When people say, Tim, why you criticize Obama? When he was the man who had the pen and had the House and the Senate, he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I ain't going to do nothing. I'm not the president of the black people. I'm not the president of the poor people. I'm not the president. I'm president of everybody, including Wall Street. Let me take care of Wall Street and the banks first. Let me take care of that part. But we gotta be moral, We have to be moral. It's who we are, right? It's who we are. It's our better selves. But I would put in a contingency that those people who have on their record still as long as you ain't shooting nobody over crack, you should have that crap wiped off your record. How about that? How about that? All right? All right? So I can't go back in time and make it right for anybody who was on cocaine, on crack, and was treated like a criminal instead of treated like a person with a sickness as what they expect, what they're trying to do with the opiates. But what I can say is we could try to make you whole going forward. We could try to make you whole going forward. That's the best I can do. I wish I could go back in time and save some lives of my friends. You feel me? You feel me? I wish I could, but I can't. All right? But I got to do the right thing going forward. So anyway, we'll see what happens with this legislation. I will keep you up to date with it because it's very important. I got my eye on you, Cory. You know, don't get excited now. Don't get the pimping like, yeah, I'm Cory Booker. I'm Cory. I got support now. Now slow down, man. Slow down. We're gonna watch you and see what you do. All right. Okay, so Andrew McCabe, guys. Let's jump to this guy. Justice Department prefers Andrew McCabe for criminal charges. Criminal charges. This has got real. The Justice Department, Inspector General on Thursday, sent a criminal referral for former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. He sent this to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C. I didn't know this. What says this? Based on sources familiar with the matter, last week the Inspector General reported that McCabe repeatedly misled investigators and authorized aides to leak to a Wall Street Journal reporter information about internal FBI DOJ dealings regarding a Clinton Foundation probe, despite having previously told investigators he never authorized it and did not know who did. Uh-oh. Now, it's just the fact that Andrew McCabe obviously misled some folks here. At least that's the allegation. If that's the case, Andrew, get ready to get your jumpsuit ready. Get your jumpsuit ready. Look, any ill talk of Madam Hillary Clinton is met with severe repudiation by the corporate media. You know, and any media entity, independent media, who calls out anything that Hillary Clinton or the Clinton Foundation has done is met with backslaps and labels of conspiracy theorists. But I'll tell you this. The Democratic Party will never prosper, will not prosper. It will not prosper until the stink of the Hillary Clinton defeat and of Hillary Clinton herself, hey, it has to go away. You have to distance yourself from Hillary Clinton. And I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. No, not Hillary supporters. Hillary supporters, you can't hear me. You don't even watch me. You can't hear me. People in politics know what I'm talking about. They know the toxic nature of the name Hillary Clinton to large segments of the population. It wasn't created by Tim Black. It wasn't created by independent media. It was created by the doings of the Democratic Party. Same thing goes for Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. These people are dragging down the party. Andrew McCabe, what's that had to do with Andrew McCabe? Nothing and everything. Andrew McCabe will feel the wrath of the people because if they can't have Hillary, they'll take who they can get. Take it out on Andrew McCabe. Why not? Jumpsuit fits him just fine. All right. That's Andrew McCabe, y'all. Now, there aren't that many people in mainstream media that I respected. In fact, corporate media, as I learned more about the media industry, I realized how unreliable, how it worked, okay? That you have to toe the line. And when I said on a show, on a network show, or not a network show, I stated publicly that I felt that if you don't fall in line, your job will go away. Now, we've used this gentleman here as an example of that. Ed Schultz. He gifted, talented journalist. One of the most sincere journalists, one of the most sincere journalists, I think, that was on corporate media. Well, he's come out lately and he said that the reason why he parted ways or was let go, not parted ways because it wasn't his decision, the reason why he was let go, his contract not renewed, told they were going in another direction, was because he refused to freeze out his longtime friend Bernie Sanders. So they wanted him to give Bernie Sanders no shine at all. Don't cover him. Don't cover his events. Don't cover his announcements. Keep that film on that podium. Give us that Donald Trump podium, the empty podium with nobody on. Yeah, show that. Don't show Bernie. And Schultz, he disagreed. There was also the matter of the TPP, stuff like that too. TPP, yeah. Ed Schultz blames MSNBC firing on his support for Bernie Sanders. Former MSNBC host Ed Schultz ripped his former employer for being in the tank for Hillary Clinton and suggested his firing in 2015 was due to his support for Senator Bernie Sanders. Schultz, who now works for RT, told National Review's Jamie Weinstein in an interview posted last week about an episode that backs up his claim MSNBC didn't like his support of Sanders. Here's the deal, guys. Nobody likes anyone who supported Sanders. No one. Zero. There was a time during the elections when there were many of us who were making a lot of noise, getting a lot of media attention. And there were opportunities. But if you remained a Bernie Sanders supporter, your opportunities evaporated. You rose to the awareness of the officials of these corporations like CNNs, the MSNBCs, but the fact that you were a supporter of Bernie Sanders, that made you persona non grata. You understand me? This happened to your boy Tim Black. Uncle Tim Black, this happened to me, okay? So I can attest firsthand experience that I was told if I were to leave it alone, just leave them alone, go along and get along, like the Bakari Sellers of the world, the Joy Reids, the Don Lemonheads. If I just shut up, I'd be good. There would be something in me not being but so spry. I thought about it. But I had to stay with my goal. I had to stay. I had to do my thing. I had to be true to who I was. I told him to shove it. So did Ed Schultz. And after all of the love and respect, respect and appreciation my peers have shown me, I'm so glad I did. You guys have been great. Schultz, who now works for RT, told that Sanders was launching his presidential campaign on May 26, 2015 in Burlington, Vermont, and Schultz said his network was the only one planning to cover it live. 5 minutes before Sanders was scheduled to give his speech, Schultz received a call from MSNBC. President Phil Griffin, the man who hired him and fired him, said, "You're not going to cover this." The discussion got contentious as Schultz tried to explain why he felt it was important to cover Sanders. He said, but Griffin wouldn't budge, forcing him to cover something he referred to as totally meaningless. That turned out to be the devastating floods in Oklahoma and Texas, as well as the unrest in Baltimore following the death of Freddie Gray. In the end, Schultz got to air Sanders' speech live when it began. Well, damn, Schultz. I'm a Bernie. You know, I was a Bernie supporter. I still am a Bernie supporter, to the chagrin of many people. But the Freddie Mac thing was, I think that's worthwhile. Who wrote this? Are they sure that's what it was? Are you sure that's what it was? He didn't want to cover Freddie Gray? Come on, man. He didn't want to cover the flood, the Oklahoma flood? Schultz gave Weinstein his opinion on why he thought he was canned shortly thereafter. I think the Clintons were connected to NBC. The NBC News chief, Andy Lack, connected at the hip, Schultz said. I think they didn't want anybody in their primetime or anywhere in their lineup supporting Bernie Sanders. I think that they were in the tank for Hillary, and I think that it was managed. And 45 days later, I was out of MSNBC. Well, I think that Ed Schultz has no reason to lie. I think that he's telling his story, and I believe it. I believe that, yes, opportunities exist, and opportunities can be taken away if you do not follow the script. Miss Ossoff, who's been making her way around the CNNs and the MSNBCs, I told you, woman. I told you. I said, if you don't play the game, and you don't fall in line with the Democratic Party, you won't have a career. And I'm sure you know that by now. Well, here goes Ed Schultz. He's now on RT America. And we all know how they stigmatize RT America. You know, Ed Schultz now, he can cover Bernie as much as he wants. Is that Kremlin because he can now cover and do stories he likes to do? Is that Putin writing it for him? I don't think so. You know, even this article, they gave backhanded disses to Ed Schultz for his RT America, for him having a job at RT, though he says it gives him the most flexibility, more flexibility than he's ever been given. Hey, it is reality, okay? It is reality. We'll give it up for Ed Schultz. We respect you, Ed, and we will keep watching you no matter where you go, whatever platform you're on. Whether it's the Move News with Ed, I think Ed had his own website, or if it's RT, wherever it is. Because I know, and many of my viewers know, Vladimir Putin don't write your dialogue, man. Nor does he cover your hard news. Because Ed Schultz, he doesn't just give commentary. In fact, he rarely gives commentary. He gives news for people who can't stand the news. You know, we got a lot of social issues in this country that don't seem to be going away anytime soon because it's so embedded as who we are. Recently, there was the issue in the Starbucks, a couple of incidents that were recorded and now have gone viral are the reasons why I think they're having some type of retraining of Starbucks workers, trying to teach them, you know, not to be racist or something. Good luck with that. You know, our racial problems, they're embedded. It's not just so much what's in your handbook, it's what's in your head. There's a lot of people, sometimes that's, you know, too much, you know, alcohol or I don't know what it is, hate. But it's a problem. Anyway, so we have that, but we also have this. We have not just people not being able to use the bathroom or be served or whatever, right? We also have issues like what happened in a Walmart parking lot in Chicago. Anger spreads over police killing of a black man in a Walmart parking lot. In a Walmart parking lot in Barstow this month, shoppers ducked for cover as police opened fire on a black man inside a car. When the confrontation ended, Deontay Yarber was dead in a fusillade of what some witnesses counted as 30 shots from officers. The family says that the gunfire was excessive and the case is generating national coverage. Authorities say Yarber was shot dead after he reversed his vehicle, striking a police car, then accelerated towards officers. Police say then reversed again towards officers, hitting a second cruiser. Family members and attorneys dispute the scenario and point to a part of the video that appears to show the Mustang moving slowly backwards as officers fired. They don't have a justification for stopping this car. They saw a car full of black people in front of a Walmart, and that was suspicious. I don't believe I have seen a more brutal shooting. They just began pouring bullets into the car in broad daylight. The car was barely rolling backward. You can walk faster than that. See, words can be very interesting, can't they? You say he was driving towards them. That they didn't mention the rate of speed, did they? See, you have to be aware of the trickery. All right, the trickery that they will use in order to sway your judgment. I suggest everybody go check out the video for yourself. Here's the bottom line. This young man had no gun. He was committing no crime. Someone called in and said there's a black man in the parking lot. He looks suspicious. And from that, we get overreaction. The same thing happened in Ohio with Tamir Rice. There's a young man in the park who looks suspicious. There's a black man, same thing happened with John Crawford in a Walmart? There's a black man in the aisle. He looks suspicious. And then cops are on edge. They think they're going up against the man called Hulk or Mr. T in a movie. I don't know what they're thinking. What is it? They think, I don't know, what the hell are they thinking? What are you thinking, motherfuckers? Sorry. What are you thinking? I think it's time that we stop taking this off these police officers. I say we must hold them accountable. It's not a coincidence that in Washington, D.C., for instance, there's never been a police officer indicted for police brutality ever. We have a criminal justice problem in this country. We have a racial problem in this country. We have racists. And we have a problem that people are just scared of black people. And that's because of the propaganda about black people. There have been people that don't even know me that have said in the conversation is something similar like, we think this about you, Tim Black, like violent or you're, beat women or some crazy shit based on nothing. Nothing except I'm black. If I was white, they wouldn't think it. They'd just be like, this is a big guy. Maybe he can help us build something. But since I'm a big black guy, they think maybe he'll kill me. Maybe he'll do something. This is an American problem. And I don't think boycotting Starbucks is going to change it. I really don't understand. You're like, I don't know what to do. We can't eat here anymore. They called us N-words. Oh, shit. I got excited. Bottom line is this. We must as a human race, realize we are a human race and also realize that this racist thing, it makes cops do shit like this. I don't think these officers came in that day, decided they wanted to kill everybody in that car, but they did kill this man. It wasn't justice. It was murder. That's what it was. Problem is, they're infected. And it's in our media, it's in the consciousness of this country. And it's perpetuated, I should say, by Fox News. Who else? In an effort to rid ourselves of such, horrible stereotypes of surrounding black people, there was a movie that came out that was very popular. In fact, it set a lot of records. You all know the name of it? It is the Black Panther movie. Well, Black Panther movie is not just an American thing. It's also being exported to other countries. One of those countries is being exported to could definitely use a touch of entertainment. Entertainment that's not state-sponsored. Entertainment that is uplifting. That state or that country is Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia has banned movies for 40 years. Not just the bad ones either. Think of all the good movies you've seen over the years. We're talking The Godfather, man. How the hell you gonna ban The Godfather? Pulp Fiction, man. Glory. These movies never seen by people who are stuck in Saudi Arabia. Well, finally, they decided to lift the ban, and they lifted the ban showing a screening of what? The Black Panther. Yeah, that's right, the Black Panther, folks. Wakanda, motherfucker. I think it's great. Now, if we could only get Saudi Arabia to stop throwing gays off buildings, we'll be doing something. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, miss me with, hey, we trying to be better. We're going to let people watch TV. And then going in and hanging more people trying to set records. Saudi Arabia is the biggest human rights violator right up there with China, man. Or is it North Korea? It's a lot of human rights violations, man. That's all I know, man. Saudi Arabia human rights violations make America's human rights violations look like Japan's human rights violations. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Culture forecasts that the country of 32 million people will have 350 cinemas by 2030. And AMC is going to be opening these cinemas. So, I don't know, maybe a little westernization would be good for Saudi Arabia. What would be nice is if we stop giving money to countries that have horrible human rights violations. Be like, yo, you want some movies? Give us some human rights, less human rights atrocities. I trade you. Same time. And don't let go until you get that signed in blood. I'm Tim Black. Thank you guys for tuning in. Now, before you go, guys, don't go yet. Don't go yet. I have an announcement to make. Tomorrow, well, about a week ago, I was contacted by someone on the internet who's very popular, whose name rings out. Some people love him, some people hate him. And it was an offer, an extension, an offer for me to come on their platform and to discuss censorship. Now, this person in this network, they had become aware of the fact that I had been censored on YouTube. And I'm not talking about just the demonetization, janking Anna and TYT Nation or whatever the hell, but also the fact I can't live stream on my channel anymore. I've been false flagged. Yeah, so I've been facing a lot of censorship, not just lack of money, but also lack of exposure. I used to get millions of views a month. Now I get, I don't know, maybe a tenth of the viewership I used to get on YouTube. So that was what the conversation is going to be. Now, this person is controversial, as I stated. A lot of people got strong feelings about him. But here's the thing. I'm a person that believes you can have conversations with people who have different opinions. I believe that's what I believe that's important. I think that's what I stand for. I am an independent. And I'm independent for a reason. I always say my door is open. I'm always saying I'm willing to talk. But I also would like to also mention to you guys, right, that a lot of people know about my situation. They know I've been shut down for the last month and I won't be back up really able to live stream on my 100,000 plus channel that took me 5 years to build until June, sometime in June. And very few people have invited me on their platforms to talk about that issue. Now, this person, he heard about my issue, wants to bring me on my show, on his show, to talk about it. I ask you, why haven't more people asked me on their platform to talk about it? And now that I'm given an opportunity to discuss an issue, which is censorship, that all of you are concerned with, that I'm personally definitely concerned with, it affects me right now, It's the ability for me to continue to do what I do, what I love to do, what I feel is my passion to do, what is my calling to do, if I can be able to continue to do that thing. Well, here's the deal. I will be joining this person tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to have these conversations about censorship and how it affects both the left and the right and all others in between. That person's network, that person who extended the offer to me is none other than Alex Jones. So I will be on the Alex Jones Show tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if the show is live, but I know I've agreed to do it, and I will be there. And I've given my word to have that conversation. I may not agree with a lot. Well, hell, I may not agree with anything that Alex Jones says, but I agree with his ability and his right to say it, as he does with mine. And we'll be there tomorrow having that conversation. To those who will, I know, have something very negative to say, all I'm going to say is, where were you when I needed to get my word out on your platform about my platform? Those of you who have had my back, I understand. I respect you. You know I got love for you. I never forget my friends, but those who did not, you were quiet when I was in the doghouse. Be quiet now. And that's all I got to say about that. See me tomorrow on Alex Jones' channel where we talk about censorship from the left and the right. And I'll see you on the next one.